What's up guys, it's time for some more Limbus company. This time I will not be making a big news video. This one will be more of a guide video. I decided to split some of the new information we've got today. I wanted to take more time on the teaser video for the event, and I wanted to take more time on this video talking about how seasons will work and hopefully help you understand like which characters you have to get or should be getting and prioritize, and which ones you can leave for later. So okay, let's hop right into it. So the first information is that on May 18th the season will end, and that is slightly over a month from now, so we still have we still have some time to go before that happens. In the next section they are explaining which identities are considered regular identities and which ones are considered season 1 identities, and the same for E.G.Os. Now they're also mentioning that there is a seasons guide button, or there will be at least, and this one will explain all of that information if you have to access it in game. Now there is also an easier way to check that, so let's head over to the game right now. Alright, so now that we're in the game, of course, as you know, if you are missing any of the units or identities, you can see them in the dispense menu, right? So if the character is not in dispense menu, that means you are not missing it, you already have the character. So as you can see, the only 2-star I'm missing is this one, right? And I'm missing few 3-stars, right? Same for the E.G.O. Those are the E.G.Os I'm missing, and that's that, right? There is one caveat with E.G.Os, I suppose, because you cannot craft the E.G.Os, so they'll not be displayed here from the battle pass. So any E.G.Os that are in the battle pass, they will not be here. Now, in order to check if the unit that is missing is from season 1 or is regular unit, is very simple. You click on the identity, you click right here to preview them, and right under their name, if the character is seasonal, it will tell you season 1 orientation, and in the next seasons it will say season 2, whatever the name of the season 2 will be, season 3, and so on and so on. So as you can see, Faust, the one who grips Faust, is season 1 character. Now if we click on Don W Corp, cleanup agent, as you can see, there's no season 1. That means this character is a regular character, and you always will be able to craft or pull on this character. So this is how you check this information out. Now for the E.G.Os themselves, as you can see, E.G.Os don't say if they're seasonal or not, and that is because I'm pretty sure there's not a single E.G.O right now that is considered season 1, because all of the E.G.Os that are added right now, so for example this one, Dawn, it was also given as a picture example for regular E.G.Os. All of them are considered regular, at least the ones that came out so far, right? And the E.G.Os we have from the battle pass are in the separate category. So this is important to note. Alright, so let's head back to the website and let's go over the E.G.O shard system. So at the end of the season, all of your E.G.O shards that you have, well, half of them, will be converted to Fred. Okay, so as you can see in the example given, in season 1 on the left, this is the amount of E.G.O shards we had, And into Season 2, this is how many E.G.O shards will carry over. And then all of the extra ones are converted into thread. Okay? So, for example, you have 400 E.G.O shards. Half of them, so 200, will carry over. And the 200 will be transferred into threads. With uneven numbers, so for example here 5, as you can see it rounds down in terms of the conversion stuff. So if you have uneven number, you'll get the bigger number saved up as your E.G.O shards, and the lower one will be transferred into threads. Okay. Now with crates, it's similar story. All of your crates, well, half of them, again, half of the crates will be converted into thread crates, and half of them will carry over. And again, same thing applies for the uneven numbers. As you can see, 123 crates, 62 of them are saved and 61 of them are transferred. It's 1-to-1, so as you can see, no matter which crate you have here, it's total of 178 if you add those crates together, and you get exactly the same amount of thread crates. In terms of value, it doesn't really matter which one you do, because no matter what, you will end up having the same amount of thread. Okay, so it doesn't really matter if you want to save those crates or not. The only tip I can give you is, if you are missing any units, I would probably still leave crates, because then at the end you will be able to maybe choose better ones instead of choosing it now. So there's no downside, basically, saving crates is what I'm trying to say here. Okay, so on to the most important thing, and probably the questions you have. Which characters should I be pulling on? Which characters are the most important to pull on and craft right now before Season 1 ends? Alright, so we have 3 categories or 3 tags for the identities and E.G.Os. The first one is the extraction identity and E.G.O. The second one is event identity and E.G.O. And the third one is pass identity and E.G.O. So the easiest one to understand is the pass identity and E.G.O. We don't have any pass identities, we only have pass E.G.Os for Season 1, and those are the E.G.Os that are on Battle Pass. Very easy to understand, there's not much going on here. Now, in terms of the extraction and event identities and E.G.Os, the event ones only happen once, and you can see it on the roadmap right here with the event Hell's Chicken. We will be getting event limited identity and E.G.O, right? So those will be the event tag for the identities and E.G.Os. And all the other ones, in terms of identities and E.G.Os, are considered extraction. Okay, so it's relatively simple to understand. Now, I will go over pooling. So banners. How will banners look like in Season 2, in Season 3? What can I still get in the next season, right? So as you can see, in Season 1, we have identities and E.G.Os from the regular pool, and this will always be the case. So all regular identities and all regular E.G.Os will always be available no matter what season you're playing. Okay, now for Season 1, the identities and E.G.Os for the extraction and event, the extraction ones will carry over to Season 2. As in, you will still be able to pull on them, right? Like, they're still in the pool, they still exist, so you can still while pulling on banners, you will have a chance of getting those identities or E.G.Os from the first season. So, as you can see in Season 2, you will be able to pull them, and also in Season 3 you will be able to pull them. So, they're basically added to the pool permanently. Now, for the event ones, as you can see, event identities and E.G.Os from Season 1 are gone in Season 2, and in Season 3, even though it doesn't list that it's removed here, it's also not added in Season 3. What that means is the only time you will be able to pull for event identities and E.G.Os is in Season 1, when the event happens, and that's it. You will not be able to pull them after that unless they do rerun of the event, which we don't know if they will. But that's similar to a lot of other gacha games, to most games that do collaborations or events. The event stuff is always limited, and unless they do the rerun, you will not be able to pull on that, and it will not be added to the general pool. Okay, so that's for the pulling. Now, in terms of crafting, in the Season 1, as you can see, you can craft the regular ones. You can also craft the ones you can pull, and you will be able to also craft the event ones. Okay, now when Season 1 ends, you lose ability to craft the Season 1 pooled identities and E.G.Os and event identities and E.G.Os. So anything that was new on banner in Season 1 in terms of identities and E.G.Os, and the same for event ones, are no longer craftable in Season 2. However, they will be craftable in Season 3. So there will be a 1 season gap. It's basically a system that rewards people that did get those units in Season 1, right? It rewards them that they have them in Season 2 and they, you know, can play with them. So if you missed out and you didn't craft them in Season 1, then your penalty is now you cannot craft them in Season 2, but you will be able to craft them in Season 3. And this system is good for players that will be joining later down the line into Limbus Company, when we're on to Season 6, for example, because when the guide says, oh, you know, recommended character is the one who grips Faust. Well, one who grips Faust was in Season 1, we're in Season 6. As a new player, I can no longer pull her, or it's hard to get her, or whatever, right? Well, that won't be the case because of this system. You will be able to craft her if enough time passed, right? Meaning 1 season passed, right? You also will be able to craft the battle pass immediately the next season. So in this case, whatever we had on paid and free track of the rewards for the battle pass for Season 1, you will be able to craft all of those E.G.Os and in future identities, because again, we don't have any identities on the battle pass in Season 1. You will be able to craft them in the next season onwards. So in Season 2 and Season 3 and 4 and so on, you'll be able to craft the battle pass stuff. Also, you will be able to craft the current season, as you can see, and then this one will be removed from Season 3, right? And Season 1 will be added, and so on and so on. So that's how the system will go. So with that all said and done, what you should be prioritizing before the season ends. So your number 1 priority is the event identities and E.G.Os. Those are your number 1 priority, because the only way for you to get them will be to the next time you will be able to get them, rather, is to craft them in Season 3, and it will have to be crafting. So if you missed out on the event identities and E.G.Os, it's not like, over because you will be able to craft them later down the line, but a season is relatively long, so for season 2 you won't have access to them. That's like over 2 months of time, I think. So, you know, be careful. Be careful if you feel like you might need those identities. But event ones are definitely the priority. Because, yeah, I mean that you won't be able to craft them, right? Same goes for the extraction. Like, to me, both are basically a similar importance. So anything that was new on banner, aka any character that is marked as season 1 character, is also important to craft before the season ends, because in season 2 the only way you will be able to get the season 1 characters is by pulling, and it's going to be super RNG. Like, your chances, sure, you still have a chance of getting them, but you cannot target them, and you know, with so many characters, it will be hard to just get the specific unit you need, right? So to me, event ones and extraction ones are similar level. You can argue event ones are a bit more important because you can't even pull them off banner. You will be only able to craft them in season 3, but you know, the chances you craft the one you need from pulling in season 2 is also low for the season 1 characters. So yeah, to me both of them are basically the same importance. And then the least important, obviously, is the pass identities and E.G.Os. But again, like, if you're spending any money, you probably are getting the battle pass, and you probably cleared all of it and you have all the rewards. If you didn't buy the battle pass and you only have the free track, then you know, the paid track, you will be able to craft all of that in season 2, so no worries there. So yeah, all of the characters that are season 1, those are the priority. And in terms of crafting stuff, I would definitely try to craft as much as you can before season ends, because of half of your resources will be converted. So what I would advise you is wait until like the last few days of season 1 and then do a mass crafting session, okay? So whatever characters you're still missing from season 1, use your boxes, use your shards, and start crafting your identities. You can skip E.G.Os because I'm pretty sure we don't have a single E.G.O that is considered season 1 E.G.O that you won't be able to craft in season 2, from my understanding, unless they didn't mark them properly. But Dawn E.G.O was released recently, right? And on the picture here, it's listed as where is it? Regular season here, right? So regular ones are base E.G.Os, right? 12 in total, and E.G.O added to extraction during the season 8 in total. So as you can see, Dawn is listed here. Dawn E.G.O is listed here, the telepole, right? So the only season 1 E.G.Os that are listed are the ones in the battle pass. So again, in terms of pulling stuff, like maybe in the future you will only be able to pull on new E.G.Os and they will be considered seasonal, but for the time being, none of them are none of the new ones are considered seasonal, okay? So again, wait for the last few days of season 1, so like May 16th or something, and then use all of your crates, use all of your shards, and craft all of your seasonal characters that you're still missing, so the ones with season 1 tag. This is your priority. And yeah, if you have some more, you can still craft regular, but I unless you really need the regular characters, I would probably not craft them, since you can always get them and you can always craft them. I feel like it's better to save your resources for season 2. So in season 2 you can, you know, start with some shards and be able to start crafting new stuff that gets released. So yeah, those are my recommendations. I feel like I covered everything I wanted to cover in this video, so hopefully it helps you. Hopefully you got the gist of it, and now you know what to do in terms of pulling and crafting your identities before season 1 ends. That's it from me. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Peace.